Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher here at Sweetwater Sound, and earlier today I shot the Behringer System-55 video, which I love because I started on the Moog System-55 42 years ago. So it's very exciting to see a small compact version to play with and that I can carry myself instead of needing 4 people and special carriers. So one of the things I really loved about it was the sequential controller, the 960. And it's actually one of my analog secrets because whenever I do these patches where I have 3-note chords slowly moving from one chord to the next, people are always like, man, what is it that just sounds so different and so interesting? Well, it's because they're not precise chords. They're chords that I've tuned by hand. So I might go into a very pure tuning where nothing rattles, or I might on purpose go into a dissonant kind of tuning per chord. And so not only are the chords changing, but there's this quality that you can't immediately identify. All I know is that people always write me when I do it. If you check out the end of the Hans Zimmer video where he's playing with a bunch of Moogs, that's actually me at the end on the outro music, and I'll put a link to it. But when people keep writing, what is that? I want an album of that. Well, the secret is that the chords are being generated by these analog knobs, which are not perfect, and it makes chords which aren't perfect, and people seem to like that. So to start, I'm going to just use the top row of the 3 rows that I have. And I'm taking the voltage out from right here. And I have this knob that's ×1, ×2, or ×4. It's how wide I want the knobs to be able to sweep. If you're doing extreme changes, you're going to want ×4. If you're trying to stay within an octave or 2 and you want precise control, stay with X1, ×1. So I'm taking that voltage out right into the oscillator over here, and I'm taking a sawtooth out right to the mixer, which is going right to the camera. So I should be able to just hear a note. And right now, the sequencer is standing still. If I wanted to step through the 8 steps cyclically, I just turn this oscillator on right here. And I tried to set the knobs all at about the same spot, but this is analog, so you're going to hear 8 slightly different pitches as this thing cycles through. That is to be expected. It's analog. But now I'm going to hand tweak a little melody. And if you have a hard time doing this, this is where these knobs on the bottom come in really useful. If I turn all of them to skip except the first one, now I can just tune the first note because it's going to stay there. Now I'm going to do a second note, and I just turn this switch to normal. And now you can see it's alternating between 2. And so I'll just come up with an interval. And by the way, if you're having a hard time tuning via knob to come up with a melody or something, I have a Synth Clips video. I'll put the link in below. But it's all about learning intervals by ear via knob, and it'll let you set things up very quickly. So definitely watch that. I'll put the link in below. So here's 2. Now throw the knob on the 3rd step, and now it's going to do 3. Now, that oscillator that controls the speed can actually go into audible frequencies. You can actually make these notes go by so quickly that it actually becomes its own oscillator, which is crazy. Okay, now I'm going to take the same thing except run it through a delay, which allows me to layer notes over each other. Now I'm going to use the second row's voltages to control the pitch of a second oscillator, and I'll blend them back through the mixer. So I just take something from the second row, bring it over, put that into the mixer. I should have 2 notes now. Okay, so now as I step through, I'll be getting this little dual melody line here. Definitely something different. Doesn't just sound like a standard MIDI sequencer or arpeggiator. So I'm going to add one more oscillator. And I'm going to take the voltage from the third row and put that in the mixer. And by the way, these little red buttons down here jump you to that particular step, which makes it really handy when you're trying to set things. But also, in the middle of the song, you can just randomly jump to any point in the sequence that you want, which is also cool. So that's just a really quick look at the 960 sequential controller by Behringer. If you have any further questions about it, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for watching.